Yo, what's going on guys, it's Cynical and welcome back to another episode of SeaSalt Snippets. Of course, this is a series where we talk about 3 minor bits of Kingdom Hearts news and information, or different little happenings inside of the Kingdom Hearts community. Similar to the last episode of SeaSalt Snippets, this one for the most part is going to be focusing on Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, as well, quite frequently there is a lot of different minor bits of news that comes out about Unchained Key from time to time, so it's always very interesting to talk about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up today, Zootopia in Kingdom Hearts. So for you guys that don't really keep up to speed with Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, a little while back, Zootopia made its way into Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, becoming a limited time offer special event. So it wasn't anything like too crazy in terms of a Zootopia world in Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, but more so it, got its own little sort of cameo with inside of the game. You could unlock a Nick and Judy outfit for your player avatar, and on top of that there was also a Nick and Judy medal that you could achieve. So it wasn't anything too crazy, but to the point, I think it's actually pretty damn awesome that Zootopia, being one of Disney's latest feature-length films, actually made it into Kingdom Hearts, because I feel as if we've become accustomed to, getting the Disney properties that are very, very old, and, it's very rare that we see very new Disney properties inside of, Kingdom Hearts. I know when I first, saw everything to do with Dream Drop Distance, and I saw the new Tron in there, my jaw dropped. I remember playing through Kingdom Hearts 2 and seeing like Chicken Little and Stitch, because back then those properties were fairly new. So it's really, really cool to see kind of brand new Disney properties in Kingdom Hearts. Of course, we know that Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be including a lot more newer generation Disney films, and I think for the most part that's actually going to be extremely cool. Of course, I do hope that Square Enix and Disney also try to focus on the old properties, because old Disney classics, we all love them, right? I mean, we can't go without them. They're amazing. They made what Disney is today. But to the point, speaking furthermore, I would actually love to see Zootopia in Kingdom Hearts 3. I know at this point it seems extremely unlikely, because it was already announced last year around the time of E3 that Square Enix and Disney have pretty much come to a point where they've decided all of the worlds for KH3. There might actually be a possibility that Zootopia could have been pre-planned, meaning it could have been thought of for Kingdom Hearts 3 last year to actually be a world in the final product. But honestly, after seeing Zootopia, I'm like, damn, I want this as a world. I really can't think of too many sort of directions that the story itself would kind of go, because of course we know that the Disney stories of the movies that are of course included in Kingdom Hearts follow the traditional story that is shown in the movie itself, but has a kind of Kingdom Hearts theme and twist in the world. And kind of incorporating that into Zootopia would be a little bit hard. We do know that Zootopia focuses a lot on racism, quite low-key. If you're a kid and you're watching Zootopia, you're not really going to get it, but of course, if you're like an adult, or you're a teenager and you kind of understand all of that stuff, then of course you will notice that Zootopia focuses a lot on racism. One thing that I kind of came up with is, we know that both light and darkness has to coexist within each other to, of course, be actual things within the universe of Kingdom Hearts. So maybe they could, like somehow focus that whole theme with inside of a Zootopia world. Really not too sure, but like the whole environments of Zootopia, they are absolutely incredible. The urban part of the city, the savanna part of the city, the rainforest, the ice caps, or the polar ice caps, the kind of snow area of Zootopia. Like, there's so many different environments that would just make Zootopia such a unique world. But of course that is just a hope of mine. So on May 11th, Square Enix announced that Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key reached over 2 million downloads for both Apple users as well as Android users. So combining, both downloads from both sides, it has equated to over 2 million downloads, and that is under a month. So within its first month of like being live on these different Play stores and the App stores, it has reached over 2 million downloads, and that is the North American version, so not including the Japanese version, just the North American version. I have to say, when I saw this news, I was so excited and I was so absolutely thrilled, because that right there in its own right goes to show that Kingdom Hearts actually has a huge popularity. And I do understand that a good ratio of those downloads will probably be just like random people searching through the app stores wanting to get a free app to play. But to the point, it's gone to show that over 2 million downloads or 2 million people have piqued an interest in Kingdom Hearts, and that honestly puts a smile on my crocodile. No, but in all seriousness, it actually makes me so thrilled and so happy. And it's good to see that, you know, Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, this 2D Kingdom Hearts game that's not really meant to be taken seriously, even though we're actually finding out now that the game is very serious with its lore, has actually equated a decent amount of popularity. We do of course know that there is still the EU version to come out, or at least we hope there is, so I'm sure that a decent portion of the world has still yet to experience Unchained Key. But to the point, it's so cool to see that over 2 million people have downloaded the game. And lastly, Square Enix kind of went into a bit of a suspension mode for Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key at the start of this month due to the fact that there has been absolutely so much hacking going on with inside of Unchained Key. And to be fair, it's actually pissed off a ton of people who are wanting to get their names out there on the leaderboards. So essentially what's happening is a lot of people have been hacking to the point where they basically give their characters a ton of lux, which means they become like insane levels, and their lux ranking gets put on the leaderboards, which puts them at a high status. So for the people who are legitimately playing to get these, you know, world records and like these leaderboard positions on the rankings, it makes it almost impossible to compete with the hackers because, you know, they can just hack their way up to the highest placement on the leaderboards. So a ton of like complaints were sort of filed out on Twitter and social media about this, and Square Enix at the start of this month have started to kind of enforce a bit more supervision within amongst the servers of Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key to make sure that there is the minimum amount of hackers possible. And I have to say, kudos to Square Enix, because I have noticed very little hackers these days within amongst the leaderboards. They are still there and they are still apparent, but definitely less in comparison to how many hackers were here during the launch of the North American version. I did notice a bit of hacking on the Japanese version when that first launched, but it seems to be that that was a pretty smooth run for the most part. But yeah, with the North American version, there has been just a crazy amount of hacking going on with inside of the game. Anyway guys, this has been another episode of SeaSalt Snippets. What did you guys think about today's topics? Let me know in the comment section down below. And until next time guys, I'll catch you later. Peace.